Hey guys, welcome back to another semiconductor update. Today we're going to take a closer look at three companies. We're going to do some semiconductors. We're going to look at Nvidia and Broadcom. And then we're also going to take a closer look at some AI updates. We're going to take a closer look at Microsoft and some other kind of cloud server providers and AI updates. So let's take a closer look in today's episode. So let's start off with Nvidia. Right now, Nvidia is having a decent day. It's up roughly 0.79%. I do believe most of the market is green today, so hopefully all investors are enjoying. What I want to start off with Nvidia is there are reports that we've heard about Nvidia's kind of banned RTX 4090 GPUs in China, right? And right now we are seeing a lot of their products being excluded or being restricted in China due to their strength in AI solutions and things like national security. But what we're seeing right now is obviously prior to the ban of the 4090s, they were being shipped there like no tomorrow. And now it does seem like there are a lot of companies out there in China that are taking apart the 4090s and kind of creating it into more of an AI card for maybe small workstations for data centers. And the reason and the way they're doing it is sometimes when you come with the gaming card, if you look at the picture, sometimes they might be a little bit bulky with their kind of fans and the overall kind of hardware that they're using it. They're kind of taking it apart and making it more meant like a floor style like this, more meant for a compact, more server styles. So that's happening right now. I don't believe this is anything that should impact Nvidia's stock price by any means, and anything that Nvidia investors should be worried about.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
But it kind of just showcases how right now the demand for AI is so crazy, right? This is what it's showing. The demand for AI is so crazy that it's forcing companies that, hey, if we can't get any data centers, we're going to take these high consumer gaming GPUs and kind of remodel them to make them into more workstation, more data centers, more server style. So overall, it just kind of showcases the strength of the AI demand at the moment. Now, continuing with Nvidia, we do have this report for TrendForce. They kind of start off by just discussing that, hey, look, Nvidia is doing great in the data center market. We've all read the earnings and kind of understand this. Nvidia also mentioned that in the upcoming quarter, due to all the restrictions, the market revenue from China is going to be substantially lower, and they just reinforced this. What I really wanted to talk about here from TrendForce is they do share some great insight of how the big cloud server providers are expected to kind of be the estimated shipments of NVIDIA AI cards, AI server shipments, which obviously deal with NVIDIA cards. So right now, the three largest AI server buyers are going to be Microsoft, Google, and AWS. And TrendForce estimates that shipments are expected to be 24% Microsoft, 18.6% Google, and 16.3% AWS, respectively, for 2024. So obviously, we can see the big players of the AI servers are still going to be the North American cloud server providers. And again, it does continue to show that Microsoft is really going ahead here with purchasing a lot of AI solutions. Google's not that far behind. And it does seem like Amazon, in my opinion, is sometimes taking it a little bit easier compared to the other players. Is this a smart move? We'll have to see how things progress. Maybe Amazon believes that their own AI solutions and maybe the AI market is a little bit hyped at the moment. Kind of going into a next stock, I want to take a closer look at Broadcom. But first, if you guys haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I also do have weekly exclusive videos. I will be doing an NVIDIA deep dive today or tomorrow morning. So make sure to hit the join button to learn more. And also special offer at fool.com/Jose. So now we're taking a closer look at Broadcom. Here we can see in the past month, the stock is up almost 17%. In the past 5 days, the stock is flat, but Broadcom announced that they successfully acquire VMware. And this was going to be a very tricky one. We had a lot of investors that were thinking that this was not going to go through due to kind of China maybe halting things out. And we kind of also heard a little bit more news about that earlier on. I want to say maybe a month or 2 months ago, that kind of made some investors worried. But it does seem like, hey, look, VMware is now part of Broadcom. And this acquisition, while it's one of the biggest, I believe the biggest tech biggest tech acquisition ever. It also kind of showcases that right now Broadcom, a semiconductor company, can no longer just be a semiconductor company. If you are in the tech space, you need to be a hardware player and a software player. And I do believe what Broadcom is doing here with their acquisition of VMware is they are a hardware player, they are also a software player, and now to some extent they're also a cloud server provider, solution player as well. So pretty interesting, and to see how one of my favorite semiconductors companies, Nvidia, has already been doing this organically with their hardware, with their software, and with their cloud server providing, and even infrastructure solutions. So we can see Nvidia is definitely ahead of the pace, but it does kind of give us that mindset that when we start to look at hardware companies, we also need to start to figure out, hey, does this also have a strong software moat as well? Now, the final company I want to take a closer look at is Microsoft. And Microsoft is doing amazing, up to $377 right now. Up, it's pretty much flat, but year to date, the stock is dominating, up roughly 58%. So there's two news with Microsoft. First is with one of Microsoft's biggest AI investment, in my opinion, and that is OpenAI. So OpenAI recently appointed former Google TPU lead as head of hardware, which is expected to be hiring for experts in data center facility design. So this is pretty interesting because we have heard in the past that OpenAI is also focusing on maybe designing their own hardware for their own kind of workload solutions that they do. Obviously, OpenAI is probably the biggest AI company. They have the best large language model right now with GPT-4 that continues to rank as number one. So obviously, they are ahead of the curve. We did see from Microsoft that they made the some AI chips. I forget the names of them, but it does seem like OpenAI might still be in the avenue to some extent of maybe finding some form of hardware solutions or something in general to kind of be able to mix its hardware really well with the software and the AI solutions that it has, because that would probably make its products a lot stronger. So that was a pretty impressive hiring in my opinion, and I do believe this is something we're going to keep hearing about in the upcoming quarters as OpenAI maybe also focuses a little bit more on hardware. Now, bringing it back to Microsoft, right? Microsoft files for new data center campus in Iowa. And this is, again, just continues to show how much Microsoft is investing in data centers and in the AI space. So, Microsoft, from this report, is already building out heavily in the Iowa area. They have numerous projects like Project Ginger West, Project Ginger East, Project Mountain, Project Alluvian, and Project Osmium, which are all several locations in in the city, in all various stages of developments. So Microsoft continues to invest heavily in the AI market, in the data center market, and I do believe that's why when we look at that TrendForce report that I mentioned earlier today, we do see that Microsoft continues to be the leader of expected shipments for AI servers because they continue to expand. So I do believe Microsoft is out there going to be gaining market share in the kind of clouding market solution, and it's definitely a very bullish trend. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.